Did Kevin Warren just add more fuel to the fire that Justin Fields could be staying in Chicago now that the full interview with WGN has been released? We're going to talk about all that and more right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bears Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bears news and content.
What's going on, Bears fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bears Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related. I'm the host, Haize, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Chi Bears Central on every social media platform we happen to be on. With that being said, let's go and get into this content. So in the daily episode today, I talked about how that 19-second clip released by WGN in the interview with Kevin Warren kind of stirred up some conversations around the Justin Fields conversation, right? Between those that took it as Justin Fields staying, Justin Fields going, drumming up the trade interest, getting that value up higher. Well, now that the full interview has been released, in which Kevin Warren talked a lot about the stadium situation and things like that, one of the biggest parts that everybody's going to be talking about is his comments around Justin Fields. And we're going to go ahead and read some of those now. This is part of what was already came out yesterday, but let's read it more in full. Kevin Warren saying this: "I'm a supporter of Justin because I got a chance to work with him when I was commissioner of the Big Ten Conference. He's incredibly talented. He's smart. He works hard. He wants to be a great NFL football player. He just needs to make sure that he has the support around him. He's working hard. I would love for him this offseason to make sure he's totally healthy going into the season next year. This is a difficult game. Justin has a rare combination of intelligence, of size, of strength, and speed. You forget how big of a man he is until you're up on him. He's not a small man. I just think every year he's going to continually get better, so I'm glad he's on the Chicago Bears." Now, that second portion there was part that we already heard yesterday, but then he went into more detail in regards to like the draft scenario and the quarterback scenario and saying this: "One thing about Ryan and I's working relationship is the fact that we're in this together. I know he's spending every single day thinking about that. Not only the decision, but who to draft number 9 on our current roster, what we're going to do in free agency, and what we're doing from a contract negotiation standpoint. I'm sure he's already starting to play out the draft in his mind. We'll work together, but I have a great trust, obviously, in him, Ryan, Ian Cunningham, and all of our scouts. This is the crucial time, and they've already been grinding away on to be able to come together. I look forward to going to the Combine later this month and then getting a chance to spend some time together because we're in a very, very unique space and time in Bears history. You think of the draft Ryan did last year to get DJ Moore and turn that pick into drafting Darnell Wright and then Stevenson. To get those young guys a chance to play and then trading for Montez Sweat, not only trade for him, but then extend him. If we can replicate back-to-back years to really be smart about how we handle the draft capital this year, it could be a really special time for the Chicago Bulls." And so, Chicago Bears. Why do I always say Bulls? Chicago Bears. And he goes on to say more. I implore everybody to go check out the interview. I would play the clip here, but it's so long of a clip that the channel will get dinged for using that. There's a very small time frame that you can use from videos like that. So, but this is going to add a lot of fuel to the fire of those that ask the question, is Justin Fields staying with the Chicago Bears? And the fact that Kevin Warren has such a glowing recommendation for Justin Fields. Now, again, they're going to have people on the flip side of that says, well, this is all playing into to make sure that draft capital or that trade value for Justin Fields stays as high as possible. And I understand the thought process on either side of the coin there. I'm not here to tell you guys what to think about this interview. I can give you my thoughts. I took this interview in listening to it in full. I will say it added a lot more color than that 19-second clip. And if I had to lean one way or another on how I personally took that clip, I do feel like that is a ringing endorsement of Justin Fields staying here potentially as the quarterback for the Chicago Bears. Even going so far as to talk about the trade you got back for last year's number 1 and to say that it's basically that he's excited about the capital that you could get back. Now, again, to go against my own point, because I like to present both sides of the argument, there's also a perspective to be said on that his comments on the draft capital that you can get back is talking about the value in their own picks that they have and could bring to this team. You can really take it either way. And if you already have your own leaning towards it, it can really help inform that or maybe fight against it depending on how open you are to really hearing and thinking about it from a different perspective. And I still think that it comes down to it. And him saying that him and Ryan Poles are going to be working together on it. We've already heard that Kevin Warren is stepping down to help make more football decisions for the Chicago Bears. We've heard it. It's been evident. He said it with his words. I think when you hear the deliberation between the what to do with the head coach, all the signs are pointing to that they are working in tandem and they're working as a unit to make the decision to carve out what's going to be the future for the Chicago Bears. Now, how hands-on, how much autonomy that Ryan Poles does have in that's something that we may never know, right? If Ryan Poles wants to go with a rookie quarterback, but Kevin Warren is leaning more towards Justin Fields, we don't know if Kevin Warren is going to give Poles the green light to do that. And then maybe if that decision is wrong, does that put Ryan Poles' job on the line at some point down the future? Like, there's a lot of questions and avenues that you can take this. But in the totality of that interview now being out in full, the little over 18-minute interview it is, it really does add a different perspective to know that that's how the president of the Chicago Bears and CEO looks at Justin Fields. And, it still could go either way. Even in that, he said that he's sure that Ryan Poles is really obsessing over what to do with the number 1 overall pick and the draft capital in general. So you can take that for what you will. But at least now we kind of know, and that full interview is out. I didn't want to wait till tomorrow's daily to talk about it since I did, open the show today with it, with that clip. I wanted to now add the full color now that interview is out. Make sure you guys go check out the full interview. I can't stress enough how good of an interview it is to really gain the perspective of the man of Kevin Warren. Also, like I said, it's not just about Justin Fields. They talk about Ryan Poles and his relationship there and how much he appreciates Ryan. He talks about the stadium and kind of the hurdles that they've had there and staying in the city of Chicago and how important that is for him. All those things are there, but Kevin Warren, I still think that to take the one thing out of this interview, outside of the Justin Fields, Caleb Williams conversation that a lot of people are going to use this for, the thing that I liked about this is this made me like Kevin Warren, the man and the person who's leading this Chicago Bears into a new phase potentially. And by that, I don't mean quarterback. I mean a new phase of this team trying to just be more modern and win football games. Kevin Warren's the one leading that. And so this interview did a lot of positive for me in that. Let me know how you guys feel about it down below. Make sure you're following the show at Shy Bears Central. You can send any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, Chicago Bears Central. Chicago Bears Central at gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text message and or voicemail, the number to do so, 773-242-9336. And then I like to end everything on Chi-Town up, but bear down. Love you guys. Peace, y'all.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.